My name is Arno Lotter and I'm coordinating this e-commerce law course. Let me first begin with introducing the other lecturers in this course. Amy Broom, which is the avatar I use to lecture in Second Live. I hope to give a class to you also there. This is a place where there's a dispute resolution provider in Second Live. This is First Live, Professor Kaspersen, who also will lecture. Please let me introduce you Martine Boonk, one of the lecturers in this course. Welcome, Martina.
Thank you. My name is Martine Bonk. I am going to teach 2 lectures to you in the beginning of May.
And then you will see her in real life. Michael Didderbride, law professor from Dalhousie University, who also lectures tax law, is in full action here. He will give some classes. And finally, an attorney from the Netherlands. He will give one class on defamation, Douwe Groeneveld. When you watch YouTube, and I'm sure a lot of you have done that, it all looks so easy, but I can tell you, for me it's very difficult to get this on webcam. But the reason I'm doing it is because first it fits well in with the topic of this course, e-commerce law, because this webcam can be looked at, this recording actually can be looked at 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And that is the main characteristic of electronic commerce. I thought, well, let the beginning of this course be in spirit with this general characteristic of e-commerce law. Another very important characteristic is that e-commerce is at a distance, and of course I'm here in my office and you will be maybe close to me another time. You may be in the building, you may be at home, you may be on the streets, you may be wherever you are right now, but you're definitely at a distance. And another characteristic of electronic commerce is that it's carried out through electronic equipment, and naturally this recording is on the megabytes that are uploaded to the Blackboard environment, so by definition they are in electronic format. And finally, an important characteristic is that electronic commerce is conducted at the request of the recipient, and you can only see this recording if you requested so to see it. So that are basically what defines in the European Union e-commerce, which is called their services of the information society. That are, I repeat, you probably all noticed that what was left out was the first requirement, and that is that it must be a service normally provided for remuneration. And the reason it was left out because it's the probably most problematic part of the definition of services of the information society, because a service normally provided for remuneration doesn't mean that you have to pay for the service. Also, services conducted via the internet that are free, without charge, can be services of the information society, and can be services to which the regulations that we will discuss during these classes apply. The criterion is that there must be an economic activity concerned with the service. And also, in case you have, for example, email via Hotmail, with a lot of people are having these days, this is an information society service because the revenues are coming from selling your personal data, for example. So it has economic meaning, there is some economic activity. So that's the decisive criterion, and not whether you pay for the service or not. So that defines these 4 criteria that there is remuneration, paid or in another form, carried out at a distance through electronic equipment and at the individual request of the recipient. And on the internet, anything you do, or you can better say everything you do, is at your individual request, because you cannot go anywhere on the internet without typing in a URL or following a link. So everything falls under that part of the definition of information society services. But if you're asked whether a service on the web qualifies as an information society services, you have to follow the definition and look at the 4 steps, the 4 requirements just discussed. So these are, of course, central elements of electronic commerce. One that isn't mentioned yet, and that's very important in electronic commerce, and one of the main reasons why so much legislation on European level and national levels are drafted, is trust. People must trust what happens on the internet, and it's difficult to trust because you are at a distance. And now you can see me, but if I put on my cap, for instance, it's harder to notice who I am. And if I'm all gone, like is the case on most websites, you don't know who you're dealing with. And that's why there's a lot of regulation to be sure that it's someone you can trust. And there's a technology, legal technology aspect, because some of you might know that in malls in United Kingdom it's forbidden to be dressed like this. And the reason it is forbidden is that people are registered by cameras, and they see the lines of their faces and can recognize whether they are criminals or not. If they have a cap on, those lines of their faces can no longer be recognized. And that's the reason why in some malls in the United Kingdom it's forbidden to be dressed like this. And I can assure you I won't be dressed like this during classes. So the European Union is leading in this course, but it's not only the European Union, because we try to emphasize every topic from 2 angles. One is European Union perspective, and the other is a North American perspective. And we do it so that you can combine the different approaches and you can see what would be fitting best into your own jurisdiction, which can be within the European Union, but can also be, of course, neither in the European Union nor in the United States or North America. You can be located in Asia normally, or Africa, or whatever. And also for those of you who are from outside the European Union or outside North America, Canada, this course is very interesting because it discusses in general the topics that are interesting to regulate regarding electronic commerce, and it discusses the solutions chosen within the European Union and within North America and Canada.